were talking about using a preset or something. I'm not really sure exactly, but they were talking about how would you get old watermarks off of presets that you had.
Oh, sure. You can edit your presets. Let me see if I go up to File and choose Export, not with preset, just Export. Because Export is where you create and, I believe, edit your presets. So I'll choose Export. I will find an existing preset that has the watermark. So I'll click on it wherever it is within here. Let's say my iPad mini one. And I would simply look within these settings for the one for watermarking. It's right down here. And there it is. It tells me which watermark to use. I can click here to choose a different one or edit them to update it. Maybe what it is it says copyright 2012 in your name, and now it's 2013, and you want to update that. Well, I went to the File menu. I chose Export. Over on the left side, I found the preset that it's used within, and then it's right down here in the watermarking area. Just come in here, and you can edit watermarks from this little menu. And that way you could update the text if it was a text one. Down here would be the text, update the year, or if you have a new logo, you could do the same. When you're done, you might need to add that again because let me think if this is actually going to edit what's there. We can find out. Let me turn off watermark. I don't think it will. Yeah, so any changes you make here will not affect the preset that's there. You will have to add the preset again and then possibly delete the old one. Okay. Anything else?
Yes. Both Marion and Mariana had a question of if you export a RAW file as the original, is it exported as another RAW file with the changes that were made to it?
It can't change a RAW file at all. So what you're going to get is a duplicate of the RAW file. So you'll still have the RAW file on your hard drive. There'll be an identical duplicate in whatever location it told it to export it to. And if the image has been adjusted, you'll usually get an XMP file along with that. So it'll be a copy of the original RAW. I mean, they are digitally identical, meaning it's like a clone of it, with an XMP file. Yep.
Okay. So just to get a little bit more complicated about this watermark situation.
Yeah.
So Erica and Deja Vu both said they want to delete the watermark on previous pictures. They have a ton, and when they didn't know what they were doing at the time.
Oh, okay. So I think what's happening is instead of saying you want to delete it from the preset, you have pictures that already have the watermark on. That's something I'd rather not cover here because most of the photographers watching want to add the watermark and don't want them to remove it.
Right.
It can be done depending on the contents that's underneath it, and it would have to do with retouching in Photoshop, not something that can be done in Lightroom. Because it can't be done in Lightroom, and because a lot of the people that are watching would not like their watermarks to be removed. Let's say I uploaded an image to Pinterest and someone downloaded it from Pinterest and wants to put it somewhere else and they want to take my watermark off. Not something I generally want to teach. But look into Photoshop retouching to do that. Sorry about not attracting.
Awesome answer. I think Bill has a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you'll cover this tomorrow when you talk about publishing to other things, but in terms of like the iPhone and iPad, since you're wanting to put the images into a specific folder, I've been using the publishing services, so that way Lightroom actually tracks changes as you make them.
We will be talking about other ways of getting the images out of Lightroom on the other days, and one of those will be published services. We just haven't gotten around to talking about them yet, but it's a nice way of being able to get your images directly onto Facebook or on Flickr or similar sites. And I also use published services to create automatic portfolio galleries on my iPad through an overly interesting setup. And so we'll cover that stuff on another day. Okay? Let me see if I can find the table I wanted to get to earlier. Okay. I mentioned when we were talking about exporting, I'd mentioned resolution. Here's a table of generic numbers for resolution. If you know about resolution and you know the resolution setting that